People really sure are funny when you have nothing else to say to them after they disrespected you or they treated you like a doormat and they're coming back now and you have nothing to say. Well, they have nothing to react to. They have nothing to try to take back from you because you have your peace now. You have an understanding that there's nothing that you can do in this situation except to step back and remain stoic and to not feel guilty for being a self-preservational type of person. And something that Marcus Aurelius, we're doing the Legends of Stoicism class in the Regal Change Academy right now, and something that Marcus Aurelius teaches is that if somebody does you wrong for no good reason, in fact, there's really no reason to do somebody wrong anyway. If somebody does you wrong, that's their thing to deal with. That's what they have to go through. Now, don't be sitting here thinking that you're Mr. or Mrs. Perfect, okay? Because you're not 10 out of 10. Okay, you're not quite where you need to be. And you know that I'm real because I'm going to be telling you things that are not tickling your ears. I'm going to be telling things to you that you sometimes don't want to hear. That's the power of remaining silent and also knowing how to give a message that is going to resonate with people. So many people resonate with my messages because it pisses them off and also because it encourages them. There's a simultaneous element to how I try to give my messages to people and how I try to inspire people to take action. Because I'm about results here. Now, I understand that my results and your results don't make you or myself who we are. Okay, remember that it is because of who you are that you get the results that you do. And this is what's going to really bother the kinds of people that want you to be reactive to them. They don't want you to respond. They don't want to have a dialogue. They want you to react to them. They want you to show some kind of emotions so that they can feel like they're being the cause of your world. But the thing is that it's your world. This is the way that I view life. This is the way that I view myself. This is my world as a man. Everybody else is just living in it. And it's not because I'm trying to be vain or I'm trying to put myself higher than anybody else. I don't see myself as higher or lower than anybody in this world. The only person higher and above me is God himself. But I don't see myself like this. I don't see myself as above or below. But guess what? There are going to be moments and things that I'm better at than somebody else is. And vice versa. There's going to be some things that people are better at than I am. I am not a rocket scientist, for example. There are going to be rocket scientists that are much better. There are going to be people that, let's say, graphic design. I love graphic design, but when it comes to the actual Photoshop and Illustrator, those kinds of software programs, my skills aren't as great as they could be. And that's something that I would love to continue to work on. But for right now, yeah, I'm not a graphic designer. But what I can do is write. Writing and speaking, being an orator, are completely... There's a relationship there that is very complete and total, and yet very differential in their terms of how the message is to get across. Because with being an orator, I can put an emphasis on certain things to really inspire you to have a particular response, an emotional response or a spiritual response, something that may resonate with you more. But with writing, I found that the more you write like a smart 10th grader to the general public, the easier it is for people will be understanding of you. But with speaking as well, it's the same kind of thing. But I sometimes have personally an issue with this because I have my philosophical side that wants to come out. Sometimes I want to be this overtly sophisticated type of person, and I'm definitely a much better writer than I am a speaker. Because when I'm speaking, sometimes the ideas that I have are images. I think in images more than I do with words. And so sometimes I'm describing the image as it comes to me, whereas with writing, I can see the words, and so I can see it looking like a puzzle before me. And I can see how different modes of articulating an idea can be expressed more clearly because I'm viewing the words on the page. I'm very much a visual person. That's why when I'm speaking, I'm often thinking about images. I'm thinking about how to describe forms or how to describe concepts themselves rather than just thinking about the words in general. Some people might have it one way or the other as well, or some people might resonate with that. But one thing about silent people, and one thing about your silence in particular, is that when you know when to speak and when not to speak, people are going to be much more attuned to what you have to say, and they're going to be hanging on your words. In fact, there's going to be points in time where you, as a man specifically, but this can happen as a woman, and Aristotle has even said that silence is the crown of a woman, something along those lines, is that basically being silent as a woman is her glory. And the reason for that is because when a woman knows how to be quiet and she's not this clamorous and overt, super extroverted, hyper talkative woman that's loud and arrogant, because you can almost tell immediately that if a woman is like that, she's one of two things in my experience. She's promiscuous, number one, or number two, she's very, very hyper narcissistic. And I'm talking like hyper narcissistic, where she might be so good at putting on a show that you don't even know until it's too late. But then other times it's just so overt that it's in your face. Men also that are hyper loud and they are hyper overt. Obviously, those are going to be the loud a-holes that nobody really likes anyway. But when it comes to silence, there's a confidence that comes with that. There's a confidence that comes with being able to sit in your own solitude, in your own world, understanding that you are the focal point of your own world. You're the most important person in your world, whether you're man or woman. But that doesn't mean that you cannot put other people as a priority. Now, if you're a woman watching this, sometimes I'm not saying that you should put your man above yourself, but sometimes to put your man first is to put yourself first as a woman. Because if your man cannot have the support that he needs to do what he needs to do, he's not going to be able to provide for you. And a good woman with high self-esteem understands this. That's the big difference. So be careful, be mindful of this. A lot of people will take these kinds of messages and switch them around to fit their narrative of egoism. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to. There was a time maybe 2 years ago where I was thinking about, well, how do I actually give a message like this? Like, this is an important message, but how do I give these kinds of messages that's going to resonate with people? And I found that you can speak to people's vanity very easily. And I don't want to do that. And I don't want to accidentally do that either, because I've done that as well in the past, especially with the term like chosen ones, for example. I've used the term chosen ones. And a lot of people think they're chosen, and yet they're still, watching the sights. They're still engaging in hyper materialistic behavior. They don't have a relationship to God, but they have a relationship to the universe. Now, you can call God, in my view, you can call God whatever you want, but if you don't see Jesus Christ as God in the flesh, then to me, I don't know if we're on the same page exactly. That doesn't mean that you can't have value. That doesn't mean that you can't extract value from these videos or these kinds of resources, but at the same time, I'm not quite sure if you are really getting my message here. Because everything in my messages come back to Christ. And Christ said to move as wise as serpents but harmless as doves. Well, what do snakes do? Sometimes they move very, very, very silently, and especially a rattlesnake. A rattlesnake only needs to rattle its rattles when it feels threatened, right? Well, okay, and that's what we need to do. We need to stop getting so caught up in the world is against me, and so I have to be silent now. It's like, no, silence is a way to move in the world in which you can build your life while not giving people your energy unnecessarily. Moving with silence is a strategic move on your part. Moving with silence is a power move that they can't handle. Your silence speaks louder than anything, and it will teach them more than any words ever could to some people. Because some people can't hear you. Some people don't want to hear you. But you also have to understand that some of these people out here that I've seen and talked to, they are so fixated on it's me against the world. It's me against the world. And it's like, I get it, man. I really do. We've all got shit going on, okay? But guess what? Some of us are going to just walk around the shit. But some people are going to just go right through it. It's like, why are you going through it when you can go around it? It doesn't make sense to me. It's like you didn't need to go through the crap. You didn't need to walk through the cow dung. But then you did anyway. And now you're blaming the world. And it's like, oh, well, there's cow dung here. It's like, well, no crap. Like, yeah, there is cow dung there. There is cow dung there. Get over it. Move around it, literally and metaphorically. Stop thinking the world is against you. The world, yes, the world will persecute us. The world will hate us. That's what Jesus Christ teaches. But to be stuck in this pessimistic meh all the time seems to me to be counterproductive. And so many pastors and bishops and religious practitioners as well of all different kinds, they all want to be violent and force people to believe certain things. And it's like, man, I just want to live my life. If you disagree with me on certain things, that's cool. We can still get together. We can still break bread. But, man, some of the people out here that I see, they're just so lost that there's no coming back. And it sucks. It sucks because I want to be able to empower people to prosper. This is something that I've talked about from the beginning of my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on X or Rumble, then check my YouTube archives. And I've been doing this for 2.5 years almost now, specifically with YouTube. And I've grown to a place to where I know that I can provide value for people. I know that I can give insight to people. I know that I can give so much because I give so much so that people might be able to take something and take actionable items to apply it to their life. And sometimes you just need to be silent. It's true. But don't count on your silence to always get to manifest something. Silence is where you go to self-preserve, talk to God, be with God, and to build. It's not where you go when you need to feel sorry for yourself. That place is a fantasy. That place doesn't really exist. Feeling sorry for yourself doesn't exist. These are not the droids you're looking for. This is not This is not the illusion you're looking for. This is not the reality you're looking for. The reality you're looking for is from within. But what exactly does that mean? Well, it means that, well, what drives you? Are you feeling what you're actually feeling, or are you repressing it? Are you trying to project onto your environment the things that are going on inside of you? Because that can definitely happen. So be mindful of this. But also, yes, understand that your silence will teach people things that it's not going to be unlike anything else they've ever heard or seen, because being silent, having no response, no reaction, it takes away their power. That's what they don't like. So with all that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful for you. If you do want to join the Regal Change Academy, where we have an elite spiritual team that we are building together, we have over 150 members in the paid community right now. We also have a free Telegram channel that you can check out, where I provide daily insights, and they disappear after 24 hours. So you'll have to get those insights there while you can and while they last. But we also have the X community for the Regal Change Academy now. That's going to be free, but we are no longer doing the Discord. In fact, the Discord server for the Regal Change Academy is completely shut down as of today. So it is no more. And if you want to check out those other options, then go for it. But I want to pay more attention to and invest my attention more into the people that are actually willing to pay to have this kind of information available, to get the more in-depth stuff, because we are doing a bunch of different kinds of classes. I'm going to be announcing more things down the line, but I'm super excited to see where this goes, and I'm super excited about the growth that we're going through as a people. And I don't necessarily want you to be optimistic, but I don't want you to be pessimistic either. Be realist. Be realistic in what you're doing and stay reasonable. There's a difference between logic and reason. Reason is spiritual. Logic is just, an AI can be logical, but not reasonable. Okay, keep to your reason and keep to your humility, but don't let your pride sabotage you because you feel like the world is against you. So with all that being said, peace be with you all, and until next time.